Let's set up the most optimal settings for streaming on Twitch in OBS Studio. So once we're in OBS Studio, we're gonna go to OBS Studio, then Preferences. Once we're in Preferences, we're gonna go to Output, and then we're gonna make sure we're in the Streaming tab. If you don't see all of these options, make sure in Output mode you're in Advanced. To stream in 1080p 60, which is the cap for most streaming services. I know on YouTube streaming you can stream up to 4K, but for Twitch, your maximum is 1080p 60. You want to have the following settings. Make sure your bitrate is no higher than 6,000 kilobits per second. That's all that the encoder that Twitch uses can handle. So any higher than that, you're just wasting bitrate. Just make sure it's 6,000 tops. Make sure your keyframe intervals are at 2 seconds, and make sure use B frames is ticked off. For the encoder, depending on your computer, use whatever you've got. I have an M1 Mac Mini, so I'm just using the Apple VT hardware encoder. I would recommend the same for anyone who's using an M series Mac. For PCs, I would just choose your graphics card, and if you have a pre-M series Mac, you can just use X264, which is the CPU. So once you have all these settings here, you can also go to audio and just make sure your bitrate is at 256, which is a really good high bitrate for your audio. And that's basically it. So just output, make sure it's all set here. For the stream itself, if you go to video, make sure your canvas is set to 1080p, so 1920 by 1080, and that the frame values are set to 60. Once you've got all that set, you'll see in the bottom right here what your CPU usage is at and also what your FPS is at. On the M series Max, I never see this go like above 25%. I don't really have a lot in my streams when I do stream, so this is more than sufficient.
Meow.